Disaster is awaiting BYU in the Big 12 of 2026 if things just get incredibly chaotic and go absolutely off the wall. Let's talk about it on the Big 12 Mailbag edition here on Heartland College Sports. I'm Pete Mundo. Thanks for being here. Make sure you're subscribed. Get your questions in now as we talk Big 12 football, basketball. March Madness is now a month away. Can't believe it. Before you know it, we'll be in the baseball and softball as well. So this has gotten a lot of attention, and I've gotten a lot of questions about this from many of you. So I'll start the conversation here. The 2026 season is shaping up to be a worst-case scenario for the Big 12 Conference. The Big 12 will get its one team in. The conference champion will get in. I am here to make the prediction that the Big 12 will not get two teams into the college football playoff this year. Now, you're probably like, Pete, wait, you're the biggest advocate we've got here in the Big 12. What do you mean? How could you be such a Debbie Downer? It's February. Because of how the thing is set up. That's why. It got more difficult in this new 12-team format for the Big 12 to get two team in. And by new format, I mean the new format coming up in 2026, which is different from the format in 2025. What we know now is that there will be automatic bids to each Power 4 champion. And that also means that a team like, let's say, the ACC champion would have gotten in. And that would have left somebody out. It might have been a team like Miami. Who knows? I mean, we don't really know how this would have played out in this past college football playoff. But if you used the 2026 rules in 2025, Duke would have made the college football playoff. That would have squeezed somebody out. On top of that, Notre Dame, should they be ranked in the top 12 of the final AP poll, is going to be guaranteed an at-large bid. It is one of the great scams going in college football. Notre Dame, that's right. It's happening in real time. We're watching it unfold in front of our eyes. So that's part one of this. It becomes more difficult for the Big 12 to get a second team in. And then, if you look at what's coming up in the Big 12, let's just say BYU beats Notre Dame when they play each other on October 17th. And then BYU's in a position like they were this year. One loss, maybe they have one loss somewhere in the Big 12 schedule. They go into a Big 12 championship game. They lose to Texas Tech. Let's just play out the same scenario. I'm not predicting it right now. But in that same scenario, if Notre Dame has one loss to BYU and BYU goes to a Big 12 championship game and loses to whoever, Texas Tech, Notre Dame will get in. BYU, which will have a head-to-head win over Notre Dame, will not. What will this mean? It will mean that the conference championship will be officially irrelevant. It already has lost its relevancy every single year. But if now a team like BYU, which could have a head-to-head win over Notre Dame, ends up getting screwed out of a college football playoff spot, in part because they played an extra game, and Notre Dame is sitting there on the sidelines, just, having a drink on that first Saturday in December, kicking their feet up, watching some football because they don't have to bother with a conference. They'll be rooting for someone to beat BYU, whoever it might be, to get themselves into the top 12 of the AP poll and make a college football playoff. What a gig. And that's the potential disaster awaiting the Big 12. So I hope I explained that, and I just think that it's a total mess of a situation for this league, and it's something that Brett Yormark has to be screaming about because they didn't get the expansion of 16 teams. If you get the 16, it makes things a little bit better. You get the 24, it's a lot better. It's almost irrelevant. But at 12, with now every Power 4 champion in, plus Notre Dame, if they're in the top 12 of the AP poll, which with their schedule, they probably will be. They have two tough games, BYU and Miami. This spells disaster for the Big 12 trying to get two teams in. The Big 12 is a one-team league until this ridiculous rule changes, or these rules, plural, change. I'm Pete Mundo. Get your questions in right now in the mailbag. Let's have the conversation with you here at Heartland College Sports. So I got some of these questions off of Facebook. Some of these questions are coming in live right now. Some of these questions are coming from our forums. We'd love to have you join us on the free Heartland College Sports forums on the website. So, question number one, and I love this because we're sitting here in February and somebody's asking me about College GameDay in September. I mean, that's diehard college football right there. Okay, Pete, how big would Week 4 be for the Big 12 if an unbeaten Oklahoma State, which means they will have beaten Oregon in Stillwater, takes on an unbeaten West Virginia, which would have beaten Virginia in Charlotte, in the Big 12? Given that College GameDay has 2 West Virginia players on it, would ESPN College GameDay be in Morgantown in Week 4 of next season? If it's undefeated Oklahoma State against undefeated West Virginia, I would love to see Pat McAfee in Morgantown for that game, with a resurgent Oklahoma State Cowboys team going to West Virginia. But then I looked at the schedule, and I see that we have Oklahoma and Georgia that week. And you know and I know that if ESPN can take College GameDay to a game where there were 2 teams last year in the college football playoff out of the SEC, they are going to do it. You know that, and I know that. It is a sad reality. So I am not going to hold my breath. I would love to see it, but especially if Oklahoma State upsets Oregon, man, that would be a fantastic start for Eric Morris and company. But I am not going to sit here and make any predictions on that front because it just feels like it is a bridge too far to say that ESPN is going to go away from Oklahoma, Georgia in Week 4 and come to Morgantown, West Virginia. I want to be wrong, but I am not going to go there. Get your questions in right now on the mailbag. Let's do it. We are live and recording on YouTube. We are on the podcast as well. We appreciate all of our radio affiliates also joining us here at Heartland College Sports. And please make sure you like the video and you are subscribed to the channel. How about this, Pete? Say Coach Prime retired. If you could hire any current Big 12 coach, who would you hire? Ooh, that's a great question. If I could hire any coach right now out of the Big 12 to go to Colorado and feel like, you know what, I think this guy could have some success there. You know who I would? I mean, listen, Kenny Dillingham's the easy answer. Young guy, won at Arizona State, was obviously drawn to a bunch of other bigger jobs. At least there was some tepid interest from other places with the opening. But you know who's underrated in this conversation? Someone who I think would actually be a great fit for a place like Colorado and would be the anti-Coach Prime, Willie Fritz. Now, before you say, oh, no way, he can't do it, he's too old. Willie Fritz is a program builder. Willie Fritz wins everywhere he goes. Yeah, he's 65, okay? Look at Kurt Signetti. It's going to be okay. And I don't think you try to replace a guy with a guy similar to the last guy. You try to go in a different direction. You try to build it the old-fashioned way. And by old-fashioned way, I just mean, you know, you're going to have a guy like Willie Fritz who's going to have his style very different from what Deion Sanders has been. But you know what? The proof's in the pudding, and the guy knows how to win. That's it. It's really that simple. So that's why I would go that direction if you put this fascinating gun to my head and said, Pete, who would you in that scenario end up hiring if Coach Prime retired tomorrow? And you could pick any Big 12 coach. I would go Willie Fritz. And that may not be a direction some of you would think that, you know, you'd otherwise go. But that would be the obvious choice to me. All right. Get your questions in here on the show as we are streaming live on all the different social media channels. All right. What do we have here? I think this is a question coming in. Pete, what's the ceiling for BYU? Listen, I think BYU basketball, which I believe is what the question is because the reference was to the round of 32. I believe that BYU basketball can still be a Sweet 16 team. That's where I believe this team is right now. But are they underachieving as a Sweet 16 team? Yeah, I think so. I think with the talent, just the raw talent they have there, I think you could sit there and make the case that BYU basketball would be underachieving as a Sweet 16 team. But listen, if you get to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, after that, you're rolling the dice. All right, you are at that point the dice. So you look at they do have some problems. There's just not a ton of depth right now with this team, and you saw it in the Kansas game the other night. I mean, if Dybansta does not get going early, you're like, where's the offense coming from? And yeah, Richie Saunders had a great game. The box score looks good, but a lot of that was part of the second half comeback. So I can't sit here right now in good faith and feel like BYU is anything better than a Sweet 16 team, but they're in a rut right now. I'm not going to wave the white flag either on the season. I mean, here's the thing. You look at the next couple of weeks, they only have one ranked game. It's against Houston at home next Saturday. They should go at worst 3-1 against Oklahoma State, Houston, Baylor, and Colorado. And then you have a tough back-to-back at Arizona and then home to Iowa State. So, there still are 4 chances for ranked wins for BYU. You'd like to see them win one. I mean, at the very least, you got to win one. Splitting them would be outstanding. But I'm not going to sell BYU right now. I mean, when you have a guy who can be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft, I know you're coming off the Kansas loss and you're not liking the way things looked, but I'm not going to go there just yet. All right? I'm not. Hey, get some questions in here, guys. Let's do it. I know I'm doing this earlier than usual. I understand that. I didn't want to get in the way of Big Monday between Kansas and Texas Tech, but don't leave me hanging here. What do we got? Peter says, with how good some of the freshmen are this year in basketball, who would be your all Big 12 freshman team? Oh, my goodness. That is an amazing question, Peter. Well, I'd have to put on Darren Peterson. And listen, maybe that's recency bias to some of you. I don't think it is. The guy's that good, okay? Where else would I go? I mean, all-time Big 12 freshman. Whew. And I've got to think about this in terms of guys who used to play in the Big 12 with now so many teams obviously having left the Big 12. If you want me to put it into that lens and that perspective, which obviously makes this a lot more difficult. Let me see here. I want to just take a look and see if anything kind of starts to ring a bell. Where would you have to go? Give me some help here on the live chat. You probably would have to go Michael Beasley, Kansas State. You probably would. I mean, you'd have to throw in Kevin Durant. That's a no-brainer, right? So we got Kevin Durant. We got Michael Beasley. I've got Darren Peterson. There's got to be, who am I thinking? There's got to be another KU freshman in there. That's just not coming to mind. Andrew Wiggins? Throw him in there, right? Got to do that. And then Trae Young. That's where my mind goes. I mean, and I know some of you are ragging on Darren Peterson. You can't go with Darren Peterson. That's fine. Give me somebody else outside of Darren Peterson. I don't care who it is. I'm not thrilled with this whole Darren Peterson thing either. But if I go, all right, KD, Beasley, Trae Young. Who else did I give you there? Wiggins, KD, Beasley, Young, Wiggins. Give me something else. Oh, Marcus Smart. Okay, I'd have to go back and look at his freshman season and see what exactly he did. That's not a bad one. But just on pure talent alone, I would give it to Darren Peterson. I would. But obviously, you could go in a lot of directions with number 5. But I like that top 4. KD, Durant, Wiggins, and Beasley. I don't think that's debatable. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. Oh, Cade Cunningham. Good one there, Taylor. Tyrese Halliburton coming in from Jeremy. Need Down says he didn't play in the Big 12, but DeAndre Ayton was phenomenal in college. That's right. He played at Arizona. That's a fun question. I like that, Peter. Good job out of left field there, buddy. Give me something else good on the chat. We got many of you checking in from all over the Big 12. We got Lubbock in the house, Stillwater, Fayetteville, Texas is here as well. Wow, Sealing, Oklahoma, I see, chiming in. Very good, very good. We got folks all over the place. How about that? We got Kansas City here, got Ames. Very nice. I love it. I love seeing you guys chime in. Thank you so much for joining us here on Heartland College Sports on the show, as always. What else? Give me some of your questions here. Let me see what we've got on the forums. I'm going to also check on Facebook in real time, see what those are potentially coming through here on our mailbag edition of Heartland College Sports. All right, what's next? John writes on Facebook, who has the best basketball school, both men's and women's combined this year? That's easy. Got to be Iowa State. Got to be Iowa State. Brian says, how many 20-win men's basketball teams will the Big 12 have by the end of the season? Oh, that's good. Well, let's see. We've got Arizona's already there. Houston's one away. Iowa State's at 20 wins, so that's 3. Kansas at 16, Tech at 16, UCF at 17, BYU at 17. So that's 7 teams. They're all going to get to 20. All those teams I just listed, 7 teams are going to get to 20. Here's the question. Oklahoma State's at 15, West Virginia's at 14. If West Virginia didn't lose to Baylor the other day, I'd say West Virginia could get there. That Baylor loss was really bad for the Mountaineers. But they have games now they could win at Cincinnati, home to Utah, at TCU, at Oklahoma State, at K-State. That's 5. That gets them to 19. Then they've got to win one of these games if they win all of those games. Texas Tech, at UCF, BYU, or home to UCF. That's 4 more opportunities to get to 20 wins if they win all those other games I put out there. Do I think they'll do it? No. Not the West Virginia team I'm seeing right now. They'll get to 18, 19. I don't think they'll get to 20. Can Oklahoma State get to 20? They would need 5 more wins to get to 20. They have winnable games at Arizona State, home to TCU, at Colorado, at Cincinnati. West Virginia's a coin flip at UCF. Then they're at Arizona, home to BYU, home to Houston. 5 more wins here for Oklahoma State? No. Because this league becomes a grind. Even those games I'm giving them as lock wins, they're not really locks. I mean, they could lose to Colorado. Colorado looked really good on Sunday. They could lose to TCU. TCU's hot and cold, but they have some good games in them. So at Cincinnati is always a tough place to play. Ask Iowa State. So I don't think Oklahoma State's getting to that 20-win mark either. It's not close. No way, no how. But that is also a very good question that just came through from Brian on the Facebook page. Get in the questions right now on the Heartland College Sports Big 12 mailbag. I love doing this because you guys are so enthusiastic about it on all the different platforms. What do we have here? What is this? Oh, my goodness. All right. What do we got? Oh, Pete, is the national media giving UCF enough love? They should have been ranked in the AP poll on Monday. I agree with you. I'm not upset about it, though. Like, I know we get worked up about the AP poll and who's ranked where, but in the end, it doesn't really matter right now. They're going to be in the NCAA tournament. You just want them to get the respect from the NCAA tournament committee. And right now, they're 3-4 in quad 1 games. They're in a very good spot. And Coach Dawkins has them playing well. And the rankings thing will take care of itself over time. All right? It will take care of itself. I'm not super nervous about it. I'm not super worried about it. I think it's going to be all right. They win enough games, they'll be in the top 25. I know that Tech win. Everyone's like, put them in the top 25. I'm not really upset about that. And here's the other thing. When you're a program that hasn't won a lot, you're just not going to get the respect and the benefit of the doubt. And I'm not saying that as any kind of negativity against UCF. I love this team. I've been raving about them the last couple of weeks. But it's just the reality. So UCF got a few votes in the coaches poll. Did they get any in the AP poll that I saw? Yeah, they got some in the AP poll too. They were the fourth team outside of the top 25. Listen, you know what? If you're UCF right now and you're looking at this thing, hey, you beat Houston this week, you beat Cincinnati. Trust me, you'll be in the top 25 by next week. All right. Don't worry about this week. I'm not as concerned. Oh my gosh. Kevin says 20 wins used to be the threshold for making the big dance. Not the case anymore. No, it's not. It's not. We had some issues like this last year with teams getting to that 20 win mark. It's just different. The leagues are so big. The quality of wins matter. The quality of losses matter a lot more. The non-conference you can manipulate to be softer in some cases than other cases. So, and I'm okay with that. I don't want teams loading up with 11-0 non-cons and then being like, we got the 20 wins, put us in the tournament. I don't like that one bit. So that's something that I'm okay with 20 wins not being just a guaranteed lock for the NCAA tournament anymore. I think it should be more nuanced than that, which we need a lot more of. All right. BYU spending $17 million to be worse than UCF is hilarious to me. That is from Citra Naughty on YouTube. I'm not sure there's a question in there, my man, but I get it. I think UCF is at about $3 million for its team. Very efficient team, very lean team. And let's be honest, a lot of these guys are going to look for their payday, at least the ones that have eligibility next season. So UCF's got to make some noise this year. There's no doubt about it. All right. No doubt about it. UCF, this is their chance to make some noise. Great job by Coach Dawkins getting some of these guys in, finding them in the transfer portal, and turning them into, really Big 12 players. You got Folks who's been all over the place. He's great to see. Coming in from Mississippi State. You've got quality transfers that are coming together and working really well on behalf of UCF, and I just love it for the Big 12. All right, thank you, guys. Hey, please make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like the video as well. It makes a big difference for us and to the channel. And if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed. And we also have a link to the newsletter. It is in the show notes if you want to join us. I give one thought every Sunday in the newsletter. I do not share anywhere else except for that newsletter I drop on Sundays. It is in the show notes as you are wrapping up watching here at Heartland College Sports. We appreciate you guys. Join the free forums as well on the website, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, and go Big 12.